This episode will be a case study of how to use hot code, reload, and auto update with video. If I press play on this video, I've turned the sound down so that it doesn't bother us. And I type or call the reload method of the reload package. The browser reloads and the video resets to the beginning. So on Evented Mind, I used to have this problem where if I wanted to update the code, I would just have to hope that nobody was watching video, because if they were, their viewing experience would be interrupted, which was really annoying. So the goal in this case study is to not do a reload if someone is in the middle of watching a video. And then if they pause or finish the video, to keep track of where they are in the video, what time they're at, and then when the browser reloads, to put them back at that time in the video. So that's what we're going to implement now. First, we need to grab the migration package from GitHub. It's not on Atmosphere yet. So I can just clone it from GitHub, and we'll put it to the applications packages directory. And then we'll add the package to our current project by typing meteor add migration. Once I have the package installed, we'll hop over to Vim, and we can start implementing our custom migration for our video player. First, we need to know when the video is playing or when it's paused. And so what we can do is wire up some event handlers for our player template. And the event handlers we're going to wire up are play video, pause video, and ended for when the video is actually completed. Now, one way to do this is just to create a global variable, something like isPlaying, and set it to true or false. But I'm going to use session just because I may want to use the value of this in one of my templates. And so I'll create a session key called isVideoPlaying, and we'll set that to true if it's playing. And if it's not playing, we'll set it to false. Now, to see whether or not this is working, let's go ahead and create a template helper to display the value of isVideoPlaying from session. To save us some time, I created a new template called VideoStatus, and VideoStatus just has an H2 tag that says whether or not the video is playing. And it gets that from a helper called isVideoPlaying, which returns true if the value of isVideoPlaying is true. So I'll press play, and you can see the value change to true, and if I pause, it changes back to false. Great, so we know that our isVideoPlaying session key is working properly. Now let's hook it up to the migration process. First, I'll call the onMigrate function, and we'll give it a name. The name is optional, but I'll call this video so that it's more clear what this migration is for. And then we can call methods on the resulting object. The first one is ready. And we'll say that the migration is ready if isVideoPlaying is false. Then the next function we can call is the data function, and that's the data that we want to save away. So when the migration is complete, we can reload it. I'm going to paste in some code here. In this case, what we're going to do is grab the video using a little bit of jQuery. And then we'll grab the current time for the video. So this is where the user is in the video, in seconds. And then the object we return will have one key called current time, and it's set to the value of the time from the video. Back in the browser, let's make sure this is working. I'll press play on the video, and you can see the isVideoPlaying is true. And now let's try to do a reload. We'll call reload_reload. Great, so you can see the migration is paused. And now if I pause the video, you can see that the browser reloads itself. Next, let's see what the data was that got saved away and make sure that we can get it back. To do that, I need to assign the result of onMigrate to a variable so that we can call the saved data method on that variable. So I'm going to call it video migration. Now back in the browser, if we go through that reload process again, I can get access to the video migration with this new global variable, and I can call the saved data function on it, and you can see I get back the current time. So that was the time that the video was at when the browser reloaded itself. So our next goal is to set the player back to that time after the reload has completed. So to do that, we need to do something when the page loads, and we can use one of the events of video called canPlay. That means that the video is ready to be played. And inside of that, I'm going to paste in some code and I'll explain it. So the first thing we'll do is grab the data from our migration. This is actually called video migration. And so this is just like what we did in the browser debugger. Then we'll check whether or not the data exists and if it has a current time property. Then we'll grab a reference to the video DOM element, and then simply set the current time of the video to the time that was stored in our migration data. And then we can call the play method on the video. Now there's one subtle bug in this code, and that is that if we set the current time on every single time a video loads, then we'll always be setting the video to the time that was saved away on the last hot code push, and that's not really what we want. We only want to set this video one time on the first time that the migration occurs. And so what we can do is add another condition here that says that we haven't already set it. And then down here, I can say the isSet is true. And so that way, we won't do this current time logic on every future video play, just the one that was involved in the migration. So now I'll jump to the top and I'll add isSet to false to initialize it to false. So the first time that we do the migration, when this video reloads, the isSet will be false. And then we'll go ahead and set the video time to the time that was saved away and press play. But then that won't happen again unless we do another migration. Back in the browser, let me turn off the sound so it doesn't bother us. I'm going to press play, and you can see the time incrementing to 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to come down and manually trigger a reload. And if I go back up, you can see the reload has not been allowed to continue, and so the video is continuing to play. And now we're on about 20 seconds in the video. If I press pause, the migration continues, and then I'm left off at about 20 seconds and the video continues to play. So the user might notice a little bit of jumpiness, but I still think it's a lot better than sending them back to the beginning of the video anytime I push a new code change to EventedMind. So I hope that you benefited from this case study on how to use hot code reload with video.